What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina, and today I'm joined by a very, very special guest making history in Norway with SK Brann Women. I'm joined by their manager, Martin Ho. Martin, how are you doing, firstly?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. Yeah, enjoying my time here. New country, new city, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a new step for me into management, but yeah, I couldn't have asked for it to probably go better than it probably has already.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, making history is the title of this video because you've done exactly that with SK Brann in the Women's Champions League with a big matchup against defending champions Barcelona. We're going to speak about that, but you just touched on obviously moving away to somewhere new. How difficult was it to move over to Norway, leave behind your life here in the UK, and how have you been adapting to the weather, to the language, to the different style of football that you're getting on with?
Yeah, I think moving away from obviously more home comforts is never easy. It's never an easy decision to leave England when you have everything in the palm of your hand, family, friends, work. But I had to make a very brave and conscious decision about my management career, and if I wanted to do it. And I decided I did, and that was early in 2023 when I decided I think I wanted to give it a go. We'd had an unbelievable season at Manchester United. We'd achieved a lot with getting in the Champions League, taking it to the last game for the league title, then being at Wembley in the FA Cup final. So all those things kind of played its part. And then, yeah, I decided when I had some opportunities that I thought it was right for me to come to SK Brann because I believed in the project. And yeah, I haven't looked back. I've embraced the culture, the city, this football club, and everything about it. I've been doing a lot of lessons within Norwegian to understand the language, which is taking a bit of time, but I'm investing my time in that because I believe I need to show the respect to this country and for this club, especially for giving me the opportunity. Yeah, and since I've been here, I've been well looked after and I'm adapting really well. The weather's in probably the November, December times freezing cold and then very high minus numbers, so I wasn't used to that. But more importantly, you still have some familiarities of the rain, like in England, where it comes down quite a lot. And I think if I'm right, Bergen are very close to holding the record for the most rainy days in a year. So I'm definitely witnessing that at the moment.
You touched on it obviously about the trajectory of your career from making a big decision to leave Manchester United as assistant manager to then go on to SK Brann. How important is it, just as I guess you can apply this to footballers as well, especially young and upcoming ones, how important is it to just bet on yourself and trust in yourself that you're making the right decision despite leaving a comfort zone?
Yeah, I think when you make those decisions, you have to weigh up a lot of things. Is it something I wanted to do? Was it the right decision to go to a club in a different country? And then, as you said, leave my home comforts, which was difficult, especially in my family. I'm really close to my family. I have a young niece. So, yeah, I'm really close with my family. So that was difficult. But I had the support of my family to go and do that. But I think, Mina, really, to be honest, I think I needed to either take a step into management or accept that I just wanted to be a first team or assistant manager. So yeah, when the decision came, I think after I sat down with SK Brann, it made my decision a little bit easier because I felt like there was a lot of similarities with myself and them and what they wanted to do. And have the backing and support of my family that support my decisions is probably more important to me, that they want to see me progress and see me develop. And with their good wishes, yeah, I decided that it was the right move for me now to experience a new country and take my first step into management.
Of course, you said it's your first step into management, and what a way to make that first step, because you then went on to make history with the club, getting through 2 rounds of qualifications to get to the Champions League, and then getting out of the group stages in historic fashion for a big matchup against Barcelona in the coming weeks. How did that feel to you, that triumph? Because of course the job's not done, but in terms of how everyone's looking at it, you've already made history.
Yeah, I think when you're here, I mean, it's difficult because back in England, as you know, when we're looking at teams qualifying for the Champions League, some clubs just it just comes. They're just in the Champions League every year. Whereas here, I didn't realise how big it was to get through qualification and get to a group stage, and then getting out the group stage, what that then means. And I've now realised with a lot of conversations with partners and sponsors and really passionate people in the city and the club, but to be able to do it in such a short space of time is really pleasing. But more importantly, I think it's the work the players and the staff behind me have done. I sit here as the manager and I'm on the face of it, but there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes. And I don't think we had not a lot of time on the training pitch before we went into those qualifiers. And maybe there was outside of the camp, there was probably a lot of kind of questions to be asked after the first part of the season they had. Were they going to develop? Were we going to progress? And there was probably a lot of doubters, if I'm being honest. But inside, we grew a confidence and a belief that we could go and progress. And I think if you look at the first 4 games we played, 2 in Poland we played in the first qualifier, and then the 2 against Glasgow, we didn't concede a goal and scored quite a lot and played some really, really wonderful football. And that's credit to the players, because in a short space of time, listening to someone from England, from Liverpool, with a difficult accent, taking on board the information tactically, and then really, really investing in what we wanted to do and buying into it. And they then get the rewards of coming out of those qualifiers and getting in a group stage. And then what that means to the club is something really big. Getting to the group stage for this football club is so important. That's like getting to the final. Getting out of the group stage is like winning the final. Because of more the expectation that people put on this club, but also the difference in resource, financial, commercial. This club's still growing, and so is this country. So to do it for this football club, and the backing I've had from CEO and the board members has been phenomenal. So no, I'm just proud that everyone's contributed to that, staff, players, and wider staff at the club. And we'll continue to build something here now where we come up against the giant in women's football, which is Barcelona. And it's an opportunity the players need to embrace, and I need to embrace, and we will do. We have no illusions that it's going to be a tough tie. However, we have an inner belief and a confidence that we have shown within the group stage, maybe against Lyon, a home where we make it difficult and uncomfortable. And I believe if we can perform to our optimal and have some luck in these knockout rounds as you need, we can leave a good account of ourselves on the pitch and give ourselves the chance to potentially cause an upset.
No, I totally agree. I think everybody will be watching that game. I definitely will be. You spoke about obviously how, coming over to Norway and trying to get the faith of the players with his Scouse accent and everything. Yeah. But in terms of the style of football that you play, I think there's been a lot of praise, especially during that Champions League group stage, for the way that SK Brann was playing. And of course, a lot of the credit goes to you and the players as well. How difficult has it been, or has it been difficult, implementing a style of football in a new country, in a new club, and just getting the players on board? Speak to me about that.
Yeah, I think when I first got here, to give you some context, they had played more of a defensive system. They played 5-4-1, and at times against some of probably the teams in the league who are a bit less fortunate than this team are in terms of resource and player quality, they were a bit more expansive. But then they had this mindset where when they lost the ball, they just dropped to their own half and try and defend the goal as much as they can. And what I tried to do is, I know what this club's ethos, DNA, and belief is philosophy-wise, and they want to be energetic, front foot, same with the ball, be exciting to watch, and play a possession and attacking-based game. So it wasn't hard to change. It was the first 2 to 3 weeks we were trying to change the mindset of the players to build confidence, because they had a really poor spring. So I tried to change the mindset in terms of more that psychologically to build confidence, and then just give them certain ideas, meaning around how we want to play and the concepts and the principles we want to stand by, and I stand by. And the players over time started to really show that. We've seen a big shift in mentality and energy. We've seen a big shift in the confidence the players are showing to possess the ball. And then just giving them small bits of development and a lot more coaching than they've probably had previously. But more importantly, it's just working with the individual as a human. That's all I've tried to do. I've tried to build a relationship with them as people. And then hopefully when you build that and you build a respect and trust with that the players then will run through a brick wall for me, and they will listen to the information I give when it starts to work. And we had an upset really early on in the season in the Norwegian Cup. We lost to Lillestrøm. And then you're wondering what response you get from that. And since that, I think it was since that game, we were unbeaten in 9, hadn't conceded the goal. So yeah, the players have been fantastic. We've applied the style that suits this group and suits this club. The players have bought into that and really enjoy it. We know that there'll be times that it'll work and it'll be effective. There'll be times where it doesn't. But more importantly, there's a really strong belief and confidence in this group. and respect between one another, that we will continue to play the same way no matter who we play. And if that's Barcelona, we'll do the same.
No, I love that. That sounds like, if I was a footballer, that would sound like music to my ears. Obviously, prior to joining SK Brann, you spent time across WSL teams in the back end. How do you feel like those experiences helped and helped to shape you and nurture the talent that you have evidently to be a manager, whether it's in another European country or if it's in England itself? How do you feel like that experience really like paved the way that led you all the way to Norway?
I think, especially my experiences now, I mean, at Everton and Liverpool, where it was a lot around youth development and developing younger players to get into first team, whether that was boys or women's, or that's girls going to senior football. That's really shaped me now. More importantly, it shaped my coaching approach and my coaching philosophy. It's definitely shaped my personality and character on the field. And that's enabled me just to, more importantly, just demonstrate my personality and allow the players to do the same. But give them an environment and a culture where they feel they're going to learn and they can grow. But more importantly, they can be themselves and they don't have to be any different. And then within that, you sprinkle a little bit of kind of dust on them, a little bit of gold dust to try and get them to flourish as players. And I think over my time in England, I've been able to do that with a lot of individuals and probably help them develop. If it's 1%, 2%, you've been able to contribute. And now that I've come here, it's helped me with this group because we're building a complete new team, because we lost 8 to 9 world-class talented players to all over Europe, England included. And now that's a really young group that we're building here. You can see some of the talents we had. Justina Schellon, Signe Gaupset, who spoke about, Martin Ossenstad, Joanna Tanilla, Joanna Renmark, all these young players who are 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, where those experiences when I was younger as a coach have now helped me now coming here and working with youth players again, because I understand them and I know the processes I need to apply. But more importantly, now as a manager, I know that I have to make decisions and I have to be very cautious with my approach. More importantly, my approach, because I've got to make sure we win games and we're competitive too. So that's the only part that's really been shaped. But my application on the pitch in terms of the way I coach and I work with the players won't change, because I enjoy being there. So yeah, those experiences over the years have shaped it. But a lot of other people around me, my mentors and people who've supported me, have shaped it too. And hopefully now it starts to show. But more importantly, I think I've done it in the short term now, Mina. But more importantly, you have to be sustainable and you have to be consistent. And if you're good at doing that, I believe you have long-term success and a bit of continuity. And we'll see over the next 12 to 24 months, more importantly, if I can continue to deliver those same results and the same success, and more importantly, make sure that the players develop and they can go and achieve their aspirations too.
Just mentioned, obviously, for long term. I don't want to put you on the spot, but where do you see yourself 10, 15 years from now? Because I think you're still relatively young in comparison to a lot of other managers in the WSL and other European leagues. So I think you've got a good 20 to 25 years left of probably managing. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 or so years?
Yeah, I think hopefully I've got a lot more in me. I'd like to think that I have. Yeah, I think in the future aspirations, I'd like to finish in international football, whether that's senior men's, women's, whatever that looks like. I want to manage in another country. I'd like to manage in another country and then hopefully be able to go back to England one day and manage there. But I think I don't want to put a ceiling on anything I can do. I know that football can chop and change really quickly. Opportunities can come and go very quickly. But yeah, managing in another country, manage then in England at some point, and then finish in international football. One thing I want to be really big on is I don't want to chop and change through a lot of teams. I want to be able to work somewhere and build something and show that I can not just develop the football players, but develop the club as a whole and help that grow. And then make sure that I can have longevity at a club where you can see sustained success over a period of time. And then when I'm probably a little bit older, a bit more wiser, I've got a lot more experiences, go into international football to see off maybe the last 4, 5, 6 years of my coaching career. And whether that's England or that's in a different European country, that's fine. I have no kind of set idea of what I want to do, but I think one more country in national football to finish is definitely something I want, and hopefully I can manage domestically in England also. But I know that doesn't just happen with that. Opportunities come, I have to deliver, and I know that. So more importantly, these opportunities mean only come, and my aspirations as a coach only come if I do the things right. If I deliver success, if I'm delivering quality in terms of on the pitch, I'm delivering quality and progressing and building a team off the pitch. So I know it all relies on me and what I do. And whether that's one club, no club after this, 2 clubs, 3 clubs, it all depends on what I do now. And I'm not soft enough to not know that. And I work hard enough, I think, to make sure that I give myself the best chance.
I wish you all the best of luck. I would love to see you back in England one day, managing in the WSL. And fingers crossed. And of course, I wish you all the best of luck for the rest of the season. The big match up against Barcelona. I know you guys are playing homes first, so hopefully you can get a result. And I love a good underdog story. I'll be real. I love a good underdog story.
I think everyone does it. I think here it's massive. Like the fans here are so passionate. They cheer the players on. They make it so hostile for the teams when they come here. The Leon manager said it herself. It was very, very hostile environment for them to come to. And yeah, we'll make it as difficult as possible. And we'll also make sure that we stick and we are honest, more importantly, to our principles and our way of playing. But we also make sure we're diligent in terms of respecting, which we all do, respect the opposition we're up against, knowing that they're world class.
All the best for the rest of the season, and of course I'll be watching you guys against Barcelona, and hopefully for the rest of the competition. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure the audience appreciate the answers that you gave, very detailed, and I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for you to return to England in due time. But of course, all the best of luck at SK Brann for the remainder of the season.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. No, I appreciate the conversation. Yeah, if you need anything else or you want to talk any of the time, feel free.